Hi everyone, welcome to Building a Full Stack Management Solution. I am Vince Gasparian. I'm the technical architect with CDW. I've helped create and manage our go-to-market solutions for Apple and Microsoft device management. So let me ask you this. How is your IT managing their time and optimizing multiple platforms? Are you getting the best return on your investment? How do you know? Greater than 90% of environments are managing multiple platforms today. Most of that percentage is Windows and Apple devices. So how do we get the best management and security capabilities out of both platforms without having to perform the same process multiple times? With an ecosystem environment like this, with Jamf and Microsoft products, we can get the best management capabilities while enhanced feature sets that eliminate time and effort, no matter if you're a Windows device or an Apple device. During this presentation, I'm going to look to go over the following. Jamf Pro management with utilities and connecting them with Windows products, a Jamf Protect connection with the CM utility, and how we at CDW can provide you a solution to not only save you time, but get you a better return on your investment. So we all know that Jamf Pro is the engine that manages Apple devices. With integration capabilities from Jamf Pro, we can connect directly into Microsoft Intune. It's Microsoft's modern device management utility they have today. To perform the following capabilities: compliance policies, conditional access policies, unified base reporting, and Power BI integration. One of the most common capabilities on this list is unified base reporting. Jamf sends data directly to Microsoft Intune to provide you a list of all devices, whether Windows, Mac OS, iOS, or if you're managing Android with Microsoft Intune, you'll be able to see those devices as well. And it also sends a small amount of data about that device to Microsoft Intune. But what if I want more than just a list of devices and a small amount of data in a Excel formatted list? Well, that's where Power BI integration comes into play. Power BI is an enhanced data visualization utility where we can not only view Jamf Pro information in an interactive format, but can also combine your Windows data to provide a single pane of glass view. We can look at data in a graph format, a chart format. We can look at it in a table format if you prefer that view. You can also look at it in a percentage type. So think about when you deploy software updates to the computer. How do we know the percentage that are up to the correct software update version today? Well, we can show that in just a direct percentage. We can also show in a direct percentage how many devices are compliant in your environment today. We can combine all of these visualization utilities into one simple template in under one page. But that's not all that Power BI is great at. What it allows you to do is it allows you to format to what you want and not what Jamf or Microsoft is giving you. You can change out. If you don't like graphs, you can put in a table. If you don't like the tables, we can make charts, graphs, anything you want. That's the power of Power BI as we go through that. Now, one thing that I mentioned there was you can do a percentage or show how many devices are compliant within there. Now you're probably thinking, what is compliance? So that's where connecting Jamf into Microsoft Intune underneath compliance policies can help you out. So compliance policies look at your device to ensure they're complying with your security standards. For instance, we can put down that your Mac OS device must have their disk encrypted through File Vault. They will analyze that device and then show you within your reporting that, hey, this device is not under compliance. And why? And this needs to be taken care of. Now, if you want to take it one step further, we can even go to stop that device from accessing corporate data. For instance, we can stop them from accessing email or utilizing any web application that has a single sign-on utility within there. So conditional access policies can take that compliance policy, plug it in, and say, hey, I want you to stop anybody that does not meet these compliance requirements. But that's not the only thing conditional access can look at. Conditional access can look at a risky user. So maybe your user had clicked on a phishing email. A cyber threat came in, stole their credentials. Now their credentials are logging into multiple computers, laying down cyber threats. This become a huge issue. So one thing Microsoft does on the back end is they can show your user when they're at risk. They show it within the say it's a low level risk, a medium level risk, and a high level risk. As you see here in this example, the identity portal, my account is showing at a high level risk. Now I could take that conditional access policy and say, I want to stop this user from accessing corporate data or those applications I mentioned there. So one thing that comes into play and is very nice here is that you have Jamf Connect, a product base that utilizes that user AD credential. So we can help ensure where that user account that's at a high level risk is signing into, whether it's a Mac OS device or a Windows device there. But one thing that comes into play as well with this is that the conditional access and compliance policies need to be applied to a user account group. So we're applying it to the user and not the device, ensuring that we're getting the best security capabilities when we're applying these policies. So how do we look at, we have a user that's at risk and they're possibly laying down threats on devices. How do we look at if our Mac OS device is running properly and doesn't have an attack on it because we had that risky user sign into it? We look at something like Jamf Protect. Right? Jamf Protect is an endpoint detection response utility that can help us see if any malware is running on a Mac OS device. But that's great and all, and we could see that from the Jamf Protect console. But how do I know that that risky user was on there? And I want to combine it with that's when the malware attack happened. Well, we could start to take Jamf Protect and integrate it with a CM utility like Microsoft Sentinel. From here, we can gather security logs from the Microsoft side, so your Windows devices, everything along those ends, and our Jamf Protect endpoint detection response utility, and combine them together. and we're seeing it from one pane of glass. We don't have to go to both utilities and try to tie stuff together. So with Microsoft Sentinel, we can not only see from a single pane of glass view, but we can also put in utilities like remediation playbooks, where it helps us mark the importance automatically of the threat that we're seeing. What playbooks can do is set up automation rules to help you triage incidents in Microsoft Sentinel. You can use them to automatically assign incidents to the right personnel, close noisy incidents or known false positives, change their severity, and add tags. What tags are is to label the threat that you have. We could take the risky user, combine it with the malware attack, and say we have a certain threat to our IT staff so they know exactly what it is and they can get a thought process on how to handle it and remediate that threat accordingly. What also it is a mechanism by which you can run playbooks in response to incidents. So we can get email notifications on when threats are coming through, so we can be interactive and we can respond to that threat as soon as possible and as soon as it comes in. With this connection together, it helps you see the security threats that you have in your environment as a whole and get you to respond to them quicker and get that attack remediated as soon as possible. So you may be thinking, this is a lot of data that's coming through here. A lot of things I need to connect. I don't have time to start learning Jamf Protect with Microsoft Sentinel, the integration with Microsoft Intune. There's a lot to go on there. So as I was talking about here, you could see that Jamf Pro with Microsoft Intune has its capabilities, right? We can look at putting in conditional access policies, compliance policies, doing unified base reporting with Power BI, checking in on connecting Jamf Protect with our Microsoft Sentinel utility to get a unified base reporting on all our security threats across the environment. This is where CDW can help step in and streamline that process for you. We have multiple services to help combine these capabilities together and doing it in a quick and efficient way where your IT will understand at the end how to move forward and utilize these capabilities for the future. One thing that CDW has is multiple engineers that know the Microsoft side as well as the Apple side. Combining this knowledge base together, we can get your environment running at its full capability. We ensure that we're running a discovery and assessment on your environment to make sure that we can do the best for you. Here at CDW, we get full stack management solution. And we want to make it the best for you. Thank you for your time and hope you have a great day.